She put the knife down, came over and hugged me. I didn't cry, but I wanted to. She said, we'll figure this out. We'll get you a lawyer. I said, I don't have money for a lawyer. I just lost my job. She said, we'll figure it out. That night at dinner, my dad said, your mother says you're being charged. I said, yeah. Assault, 3rd degree, it's a misdemeanor. He said, are you going to fight it? I said, I don't know. I did what they're saying I did. I shocked her. I just didn't mean for it to be that bad. He said, intent matters in court. I said, the detective said it doesn't. My dad was quiet for a minute. Then he said, I know a lawyer. Guy I used to work with, his son does criminal defense. I'll reach out. I said, you don't have to do that. He said, yes, I do. You're my son. Even when you do stupid things, it wasn't exactly forgiveness, but it was something. The lawyer's name was Keith, young guy, maybe early 30s. We met at a coffee shop near my parents' house. I told him everything, the whole story. He took notes, didn't interrupt. When I finished, he said, okay, here's the situation. The assault charge is going to be tough to fight because you did objectively cause her harm. The question is whether we can argue down to a lesser charge or get you a deal with no jail time. I said, what kind of deal? He said, probably a guilty plea in exchange for probation, community service, maybe anger management classes. I said, I don't have anger management issues. He said, you got in a fist fight at a hospital. The DA is going to argue you do. I said, her brother attacked me. He said, after you put a shock collar on his sister. Any jury is going to side with him. I didn't have a response to that. He said, there's also the restraining order. That hearing is separate. Jess's lawyer will argue you're a danger to her. Given what happened, the judge will probably grant it. I said, for how long? He said, could be a year, could be longer. You won't be able to contact her, go near her home or workplace, or be within a certain distance of her in public. I said, what if I run into her accidentally? He said, you leave immediately. If you don't, you can be arrested for violating the order. This was my life now. Criminal charges, a restraining order, no job, living with my parents. Keith said, I'm going to be straight with you. This is bad. Not worst case scenario bad, but bad. Your best option is to take whatever deal the DA offers, do your probation without incident, and try to rebuild your life. I said, well, what about my record? Will this show up on background checks? He said, yes. Misdemeanor assault will show up. It'll make finding work harder, but it's not a felony. You're not a registered sex offender. You'll be able to move on eventually. Eventually. That word felt very far away. The restraining order hearing was the following week. Keith went with me. Jess was there with her lawyer, a sharp-looking woman in her 50s. Marcus was there too, in the gallery, staring at me the whole time. I didn't look at Jess. Keith had told me not to. Any eye contact could be interpreted as intimidation. Jess's lawyer presented the case, read a statement from Jess describing what happened, how scared she was, how violated she felt, how she didn't feel safe knowing I was out there. The judge, an older man with gray hair, listened without expression. Then Keith presented our side, argued that I had no history of violence, that this was an isolated incident born from a misunderstanding about a product, that I posed no ongoing threat. The judge asked me directly, do you understand why Miss Chen is afraid of you? I said, yes, Your Honor. He said, do you intend to contact her or approach her? I said, no, Your Honor. He said, good. I'm granting the restraining order for a period of 2 years. You are not to contact Miss Chen in any way, directly or indirectly. You are not to come within 500 feet of her residence, her workplace, or any location where you know she will be. Do you understand? I said, yes, Your Honor.